Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and dear employees of the worldwide Big Dutchman company. My name's Annette Jaspon, and I'm delighted to be here with you today to welcome you here in Fechter in Germany to the Big Dutchman TV studio. Today is the official launch of BFN Fusion. Now, I'm sure most of you don't have a clue what BFN Fusion could possibly mean. I think you've been kept in the dark as to what the Apollo team's been up to. The many men and women developing and programming over maybe 3 years. You're asking yourself, why do we need this product? Is it in fact a totally new product? What's it good for? Is it good for Big Dutchman? Is it good for the customer? Well, we're going to be answering such questions today and many more. And we're also going to be introducing the product in general. We're going to be talking to sales executives, digital experts. We're going to be talking to company decision makers and finding out the path and the milestones behind the product, the idea behind it, in fact, the people behind it, and of course, finding out a lot more about the actual product itself. So I would say, without further ado, let's launch into today's B-Day D-Day of BFN Fusion. I'm very happy now to be able to welcome the Big Dutchman CEO into the studio with me here today, Bent Meerpol. Welcome, Mr. Meerpol. Great that you could take the time to be with us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, Annette.
The product is clearly something that's never been done before. But what actually makes it so special?
Well, it's definitely something new. We so far have always sent disks, sticks to our customers. He had to install it on his PC. He had to do the updates and manage everything around it. And here we want to dive into a new world and basically become a software as a service provider.
Right, so that's essentially the big difference, that now for the first time Big Dutchman is becoming a service provider. Have I understood that correctly?
Absolutely, yes. From today on, our clients will get a product from us, which is basically a service. It's a new world. We have to get adapted to it. We have to learn it, and that's why we are here. That's why we are discussing it. It's basically we provide a server, we provide software, we provide updates to our clients so that they don't need to deal with it, and we can offer them new product parts any time of the day and night.
Right, so that's certainly a huge advantage for the customer, the way it sounds. What's the direct advantage for Big Dutchman?
Well, it's a big trend. It's new in our industry, and it enables our clients to grow with us. It enables them to control many farms all around the world, state of the art every day of the week and every hour of the day. And I think it will bring us very close to our customers, and it will enable us to sell more products, more farms, more solutions, complete solutions to them in the future.
Sounds excellent. One thing I've heard is that this software is potentially possible to be used for farmers who do not have Big Dutchman equipment, maybe not any Big Dutchman equipment at all. Is this true, and is this an advantage for Big Dutchman?
I think it's a big advantage for the customer as well as Big Dutchman. The client can basically can have many farms around the world without Big Dutchman product or with only partly Big Dutchman product, and get the information into the BFN Fusion world, and that's a big advantage for him.
Right. No, that definitely is an advantage in gaining more customers. So this seems like a fantastic idea. Where does it come from?
Well, we are hopefully always in all fields a trendsetter. We want to be in the forefront of our industry, and I think we have shown that in the past few years, and thank you to all involved. we started with Big FarmNet 10 years ago, and that was the starting stone of this development, and it enables a customer to control his entire farm at home and be on top of it, manage it. And this Big FarmNet Fusion is now the next step, the next generation forward.
Right, so BFN, that's where the name comes from. So this is basically a very advanced technological step forwards with BFN Fusion. So I can imagine that with a project like this, when we look to other industries, that you're going to need some kind of help, some kind of company supporting you, helping you develop, or financially. What has been the situation with BFN Fusion?
Yeah, no doubt it's a huge investment. I don't think we have ever invested so much money into a new product in the Big Dutchman history, as long as I can think. And that's, of course, has not been an easy decision, but we took it wholeheartedly. We took the decision and said, if we as a Big Dutchman group, and that includes all our daughter companies, if we do this together, we can manage it. We can manage it. We put together a team of over 50 people working on this product for a few years now. But because we have worked so well together, we didn't really need outside help, and only so far we needed technical outside help. Certainly we always get help from others, that's always good, but this is our product, this is the Big Dutchman Group.
Sounds good. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Merpel, for being with us today and for setting the scene and for the general introduction of BFN Fusion. Thank you.
It was my pleasure. Thank you very much.
I'm happy now to be able to introduce the head of digital business division of Big Dutchman, also responsible for the BFN Fusion project. Welcome now, Jörg Kleine-Klatter. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Annette. My pleasure.
So as I understand it, you've been with Big Dutchman now for a few years, and when you first started, you were head of what was then the pig business unit.
Yeah.
What made you move to the digital department, and why the big change?
Yeah, indeed. My initial assignment was to lead the business unit pig in those days. But soon after, discussions came up about creating a new offer on top of what we already had. And Big Dutchman elected me to put the forces together in the whole group and to see what we could do. And after a year, it became apparent that there is serious business value in there and serious value for the customer as well. So we embedded the whole Apollo. By then we had a name for all this. We called it Apollo and still do. And we embed that into the whole digitalization strategy of Big Dutchman. The result of that is the digital business division. And basically, the digital business division is a throw together of the classical IT, what people usually call the IT department. It is software development for the farm, on farm, to keep the farm smart and make it even smarter in future. It is, however, also the digital dialogue, web-based dialogue with customers, e-commerce, with business partners, suppliers, etc. And last but not least, what we talk about today, our software as a service-based offer to the customers, which is BFN Fusion. That altogether is digital business, and whatever has to go on digitalization-wise, digital business will have to link it all together.
Takes place with you in that department. So you've just mentioned software as a service. Mr. Merpel, of course, spoke quite a bit about that. Can you tell us more about why that's so optimal, in your opinion?
Yeah, indeed. Software as a service is the choice of the format, how to deploy, how to distribute the software. And there's two important words in there, software and service. So you have to put also an organization around to really provide service, especially if you want to do it globally. But at the end of the day, that is just the format. What really counts is to deliver value to the customer in whatever you supply. And this value is, in short words, an opportunity to get all the data across your entire value chain from feed mill to the slaughterhouse together in one context. And for instance, wouldn't it be nice if a farmer who has multiple farms would be able to keep a balance of a high level, that all his farms perform at the same high level of quality instead of having huge variances there. And this is possible with systematism instead of luck and trial and error.
Right, so a systematic approach. How would that look exactly?
Yeah, the systematic approach does, first of all, require solid data. It does require high quality data. The more, the better. And this, first of all, you need an environment where proactively managed you acquire data and validate this data to turn it into high quality data. But the second point is also very important, to take that high quality data and put it into context such that it really evolves into information and allows for smart decision making.
Right, so we basically have two attributes there. How does that work with competition? Is there a lot of competition in this regard on the market?
We do indeed sense that in this industry, many play down the seriousness of high quality data. You have to really do a hard piece of work for turning data into high quality data. We, however, do not play it down. We really believe the better the quality of the data, the better our customer will be enabled to make decisions. And therefore, we think high quality data is in the best interest of our customer. So we don't play it down.
Okay, and it sounds like that will help sales, which I was wanting to move on to. What are your expectations in the sales department?
Good point. The overall intention is to establish BFN Fusion as a platform. And those that benefit most of it are the ones that cover in their business the big part or even the whole value chain from feed mill to slaughterhouse, which are the integrators, how we call them in our industry. However, and we call that top-down selling if we approach those. However, those are not the only ones. The smaller farmers can also benefit from BFN Fusion. Imagine if a farmer has multiple sites, and wouldn't it be nice if he could see the differences, the performance differences of those farms, and get hints and information of how to avoid those variations and balance it to a new higher quality.
Definitely. And what about market segmentation? Are you planning to address all business units?
Indeed, we focus at this point in time a little more on poultry meat production. However, pig as well as egg, or in some areas of the world called layer, is progressing pretty fast and will be able to deliver high value in the course of this year already. So especially when talking to a rather bigger organizations, there's no reason to hold back, because these organizations at this point in time think about their path to digitalization, their way of taking benefit of all this, and we make better sure that we are part of that dialogue, because we have something serious to offer in this regard.
So constant growth and adapting to the customer.
Exactly.
Okay. So we've talked about the type of customer, we've talked about market segmentation. What about being able to deliver globally immediately after the launch tomorrow?
Yeah. That is indeed, the answer to this is yes, with a white spot on the globe, but I'll come to that. So, first of all, many of our customers do not only have sites, operational sites at one location, they have them at multiple locations, some of them even across 5 different continents. They would like to partner with organizations that actually can deliver the service across the 5 continents and really acquire seriously the data and bring it into one context. Even if the data comes from 5 different continents, it's brought into just one single context. We, with BFN Fusion, are able to do that, not only to deliver the software, but also have the capability in our organization to support and manage these things. However, there is one white spot on the globe as for now, and that is China. China does have special legislation in this regard when offering digital services on a commercial base. And we are working actively on this to address these things, such that we believe by the end of this year, we'll be able to declare that white spot also being covered.
Sounds fantastic.
It does, and it is, yes.
So if we move on now, thinking internationally about the Apollo team that we've already mentioned a couple of times, I believe they're an international team that's also spread out across the globe?
That's correct. It's an international team spread across the globe. It's people in the US, people in Denmark, in Germany, in Russia, in Malaysia, you name it. And it does work exceptionally well because there are so many different views on what your different customers do really need. I think it has already turned out into a big advantage, and it will turn out into a big advantage even more when it comes to the service part, to really support it, as we shall see later.
Okay, sounds like it, yes, definitely. And I'm presuming all these, the Apollo team, I'm presuming it's all about being developers?
Indeed not. Mostly yes, mostly it's developers, but there are also many product managers involved. You need to do the right product, not just the product right. And you need product sales managers that really help, because we haven't spoken about this so much. We are utilizing our existing sales force, and our existing sales force needs, of course, training and support by certain people that are infected, so to speak, of BFN Fusion, that help them to present the product right to the customers. And these are part of those teams as well.
Positively infected. Well, it sounds
Yes.
like a lot of great minds are at work with this BFN Fusion project. That sounds terrific. Thank you very much for joining us today, Jörg Kleine-Klatter.
I thank you. It was my pleasure. Thanks.
And now I'm intrigued to actually see what the software looks like.
A new star is born, a guiding star to help you optimize your entire value chain. Introducing BFN Fusion, the comprehensive cloud-based software platform that connects your entire business safely to the future. Imagine all data from all your production sites being just a few clicks away, structured and comparable, accessible in real time, anytime, from anywhere. Imagine being made aware of negative trends before they have negative effects on your business. Imagine safe, around-the-clock connectivity that does not depend on internet availability and that connects to any manufacturer's equipment. Imagine saving lots of time and not having to worry about filling your silos every day. Your feed suppliers will automatically know when a new order is due. The future of efficient, sustainable, and profitable livestock production is finally here at your fingertips. Data-based decisions, predictable success. BFN Fusion, your digital guiding star to optimize your entire value chain. An innovation from Big Dutchman.
So let's be honest, that all sounds much too good to be true. Okay, so we know that it's a commercial teaser video, but I think the question is now, what we all want to know is, can BD really offer what it's offering? Let's find out. Now in the studio, I have two charismatic and charming gentlemen to join me. Simon Johansson, you are the Apollo Department's Business Development Director. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Very good. And to your right-hand side, Maxim Haser, the Product Manager. Fantastic. I got that right.
Correct.
So we've just heard how impressive that all was. Is this really the case? Maybe you can give me a bit of background about this from your side.
I think on the background side, if we look at that then I think there are some very clear trends in the market at the moment. Our customers, they're getting bigger and bigger, and their operations is getting more and more complex. And all of them put a lot more effort into digitalization than they used to. So this is quite clear. Over the past 12 months or even more, we have talked to a number of customers across the globe about these topics. And one of the things that is crystal clear is that all of them, they need access to production data. They need it in real time, and they need it validated and well structured in one place so they can use it. That's clear. And the next step is definitely also that they need the tools to get value out of the data, to optimize the production initially at the farm, but also across the entire value chain. So that's kind of the background. That's where we're coming from.
Right, so to find out all this information, you've actually been talking to customers and finding out what they need.
Yes, we have interviewed a huge amount of customers across the globe together with our colleagues in the sales departments and so on. And so that's kind of why we're here today.
Right, well, that's really interesting, because that basically means that BFN Fusion is a result of what customers need.
It is a result of customer-oriented or customer-driven development. And that's what we have done so far, and that's what we'll be continuing doing going forward here.
Sounds fantastic. Shall we have a look at the interface, Maxime? Maybe you could show us how the software actually works.
Yeah, Annette, I'm more than happy to show you what we're developing since a longer period. And first of all, the access point for the customer is the My Big Dutchman portal. So we have one single point of access to the digital world of Big Dutchman. Therefore, we just sign in, and there we already are. And you can see here already the BFN Fusion portlet, how we call it. And by clicking on the portlet, we can directly enter the BFN Fusion world. And the major functionality, or let's say the application we see here directly, it's the survey. And as already said, we have steady growing customers with a lot of farms, a lot of houses. And to get the proper insights of their farms, of course, this requires a proper UI, UX, to have an easy way to get the information that you need, that you require. Therefore, we have, of course, different possibilities how we can work with the system. First of all, we have a filtration on the domains and on the locations. So in general, it doesn't matter where I am. For example, now here from Fechter, I'm able to access the farms even in Brazil, United States, in Asia, doesn't matter. As long as they are connected to our platform, I have the access to the current information, to the valid information of the current production of these farms. And as you can see here in the table, of course, we have a lot of information already available. And different users have different purposes to work with. They are interested in different things. And therefore, we have a big list of available key values so they can choose the information they are really interested in. I would like to show you shortly an overview about the available parameters and keywords that we are receiving from the farm. So as you see, we are here only looking on the temperature parameters, which is already a huge list. And this is also available for humidity, CO2, NH3, ventilation, light, the production information like the performance, feed conversion ratio, the water consumption, the number of animals, and so on. And also for the breeder on their side, the information about the eggs. And every user can select the information where is he interested in by just selecting and clicking OK. And this information appears then here in the survey. We have here a lot of information available in one central place. It doesn't matter where you are, you have access globally to all the farms that are connected to your platform. And we are talking here about the very, very fine granularity. And let me please show you how it looks like, for example, if we look on the temperature. So you see here a graph of the temperature information of your ongoing production. It's in almost real time. But also we store the historical information, and we can look even 1 year back into history and can select the time slot we are interested in. And we see here the information in the very, very fine granularity. And as we have different kinds of users, and they are also interested in different information. Every user has the possibility to create his own tabs and to define the information where he is interested in. And also, you can see here the dots. This is the traffic system, traffic light system, which should lead you to the farms or the houses where you have to pay attention on, because you are not interested in the houses where the production is running well. You are interested in the houses where you have issues, and this system leads you directly to these houses where you need to pay attention to.
It sounds fantastic. I'm just wondering, firstly, whether it's all a bit complex and difficult to use, and secondly, does the manager really need all of this? Maybe you could do us a favor and show us, give us a case example. If a manager wants to do something step by step, what would he actually need? What would he be doing?
Yeah, of course. As Simon mentioned, we talk to many customers, multiple kind of users that have different interests in the system. And one of the users are the production managers. They want to know how is the production running on their farms, on their multiple farms. They have one specialist, and he needs to know, okay, where do I have issues? How can I find the problems? And let's make an example on the broiler production. So the production day number 7 is a very critical one within the broiler production, because if you have the hatchlings coming into the house, and you will see the performance within the first 7 days. And if you have already performance issues in the first 7 days, it leads to, you can imagine that at the rest of the production, that means the rest of the batch, is also having a bad performance. Therefore, you're focusing on this key time slots. And let's make an example. I have here one farm with multiple houses, and as a user, I'm interested in day number 7. And as said previously, we don't have not only the current information, we're also looking on the historical information. So now I want to see how the performance was looking like on production day number 7. So now I've selected the production day number 7, getting the information about the status. So now as a production manager, I see that everything is fine regards the mortality, but my house number 5, I have some issues because there's the red light and I have a higher mortality than in the average. So now I can select a specific house. So I'm selecting my house number 5 because I know, okay, I have the issues there. And I want to check whether I have this issue regularly, or maybe I even have this one time. And as is shown here in the table, in the previous batches, I had no issues regarding mortality. So now I'm diving deeper into the problems area and can define and search for the specific issues, because here I know that I don't have this regularly this issue on the farm, on this house, the specific house, but only this time. So this could lead to the assumption that maybe I even received a bad flock from my hatchery. So this is something where I already can pay attention to and don't need to look after other figures. One other possibility is also towards the integration of the value chain. We have here the application switcher, and you see here different applications which are available via BFN Fusion. Talking to multiple customers, but also to feed mills, they are all need the transparency of their production, of their farms, what is ongoing there. These days, they even do not have this transparency and not the information that they would need to get the proper insights of their value chain and the production on the farms. So it doesn't matter whether the feed mill is independent or whether it's integrated in an organization. We all rely on information to have the best possible production on our side in our production step. So here we give the possibility towards the feed mills to have the real-time access to the silo information, means that they know how much feed is available in which silo, which components are used currently in the silo, and even more, how much capacity is left in the silo. Due to this information, they can even improve their production on the feed mill side, because they know exactly how much feed from which kind needs to be produced now, and even on the logistics. These times they're driving one half-loaded truck to a silo because they don't know the status of the silos which are close to the one they are delivering the feed to. But with this system, they are able to see the information of all the silos around and can even deliver a supply feed to multiple silos and don't need to drive around with half-loaded trucks.
To be honest, it sounds absolutely amazing. And I think the way you've explained it like that with a couple of case examples now not only makes sense, but I think it would actually be very easy to use. I think you just have to do step by step and a fantastic user interface. Is there actually any competition around for this user interface? What's the lookout on that front?
Oh, yeah, you had to bring that up. Yes, of course, there are competitors out there. There are companies who has tried to achieve the same. And looking at competitors, from my point of view, they come kind of in three categories. They're the ones that are very good at doing analytics, or at least claim they are. They're the ones who would like to show that they can, let's say, integrate the value chain, show data from across the value chain. And the last part is what we call the IoT companies or the telecommunication companies. And I would say for the first two ones, as they're very good at graphs, they're very good at nice colors on the screens, but they do not have the access to the production data the way we have. And you need the data to really deliver some value to the customers. And for the last part, the telecommunication companies, they might have the connectivities and these things, and they can buy sensors and so on, but they do not have the knowledge, they do not have the experience that we have about running farms, about running a supply chain. So that sets us aside. And the last things I want to add about on the competitor side is that we control the engine of the value chain. We control the farm. So when it really comes to optimizing, when it really comes to automating, then we are the ones that can deliver on this. And that's what the customers need. So they are there, but in the long run, we're going to beat them.
The way it should be. Now, maybe I've understood this correctly, but it's almost as though the competition's doing it all topsy-turvy, the other way around, or have I misunderstood something?
Yeah, I think you're onto something there as a kind of, we put a lot of effort into ensuring that we have the data collected. We have the validated data, we have them well structured and accessible. And I think for some of our competitors, they work more or less top down instead, where we come more or less bottom up, you could say.
Okay. How can you be sure about all this?
I think one of the proofs, so to say, is that we actually have competitors calling us because they need access to the data. So I think that's quite clear on this one. Yeah.
Okay. So we really realise through all this the importance of data access. If that's sort of a huge advantage of BFN Fusion with Big Dutchman, I'm thinking we've already talked about how the customer doesn't need Big Dutchman equipment, but I'm wondering, how does not having Big Dutchman equipment actually affect getting hold of the data? How does that work? We know it in theory, but how does it work in praxis?
I think I'll hand over to you, Maxim.
Yeah, may I answer this question? I mean, it's a quite good question. And exactly, if the, let's say, producer did the mistake not to buy Big Dutchman equipment, but they are still interested in data, for this purpose, I have something with me. And let me show it to you. So therefore, we have here our small friend, the product Orbit X. The Orbit X is an IoT gateway developed especially for these purposes. This IoT gateway allows customers that don't have equipment bought by BD get information from their production, from their farms. And this gateway has several advantages, as we are also looking on the IoT world. This gateway has the advantage that towards the connectivity we have here a modem included and also a mobile communication, which comes with the service. Means we do not rely on the internet connection of the farmer, of the production side. This is something we provide directly within the service. Additionally, if we talk about reliable data, we can state that automated generated data is more reliable than the data people write down per hand, on paper or putting in Excel files. Therefore, we are able to connect sensors and equipment to the gateway, and this gateway is collecting this information automatically and send it directly to our BFN Fusion platform. And additionally, as we're talking about innovations, we have also the over-the-air update possibility within the gateway. Means we want also to provide to the customer the peace of mind, because here we are also dealing with the updates towards security, so the customer do not need to deal with the security updates of these devices, as we are doing it for him remote globally. So he has no maintaining work with the security software. Additionally, we are doing also the over-the-air updates towards the functionality of the gateway. Means as soon as we have new functionalities available, or we have maybe some bug fixes done, we are able to deploy directly from Fechter, from our head office globally to all gateways, and the customer has directly all functionalities available. This, of course, prevents a lot of maintenance work, and is also an advantage towards biosecurity, because we do not need to send people to the farms and do the updates via USB sticks, for example.
Well, it sounds as though everything's been thought of. That's fantastic. So, I mean, now, this is the big launch. It's now the green light. How do you ensure that everything is now going to run smoothly?
Yeah, we cheated a bit. So actually, we started like 12 months ago, more or less, by starting connecting the first customers to the platform. So with the support of our colleagues in sales, which helped with the connection to the customer or opening a door towards the customers, and with the support from our customer success teams, then actually we started connecting customers, and that means that currently we got 200 houses connected to the platform across 12 countries. So that's why right now we're quite confident that we have this working.
Fantastic. I mean, sounds very optimistic, and seriously, as though you've thought of everything, which is great. Thank you both for joining me, Maxime, Simon.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So in the development phase, we've had, of course, customers from all around the world in a couple of hundred houses all trying out the system and BFN Fusion. I think the important thing here is, how does it all run smoothly on such a large scale? And to approach this subject, we've got two gentlemen joining me today. We've got Joseph Chu, Product Sales Manager Asia, directly from his home in Malaysia. And I've also got directly here in the studio with me, Søren Meyer, Customer Success Manager is your title. So thank you both for taking the time to join me. So to start with you, Søren, I know you've already had success as a customer success manager, but a lot of people, I think, can't imagine what this title actually means. Could you maybe tell us more about what you do?
Yes, I've been part of the development team from the scratch, so I supported the process from the beginning. That meant in the beginning that we searched for test customers. I connected the first 100 houses on my own, and then I took the lessons I've learned. We have found a good process to connect the houses, and then I trained the experts in the regions how to do the setup, and by now the customer should also be able to do the setup on their own. But if we have large farms and large-scale projects, there is, of course, it's a project to connect the houses in such a large amount. And yes, now our after-sales and field service is trained to support if there are problems occur. And by now we have a process which scales very well from 1 to 1,000 houses. So no matter how big the customer is, we can fastly connect them, and we know how to do it.
Well, that really sounds as though it's an essential position, because I think a lot of people maybe under customer success manager don't know what it really entails. Is there any way you can elaborate even more on actually, the highest importance level of this job?
Yes, I think the main mission behind it is that with software as a service, the reaction time is more important than ever. If you use software as a service, you as a customer are used to very short reaction times, not days, more in the direction of hours. And when we are in an onboarding process, We want to be fast in getting the onboarding done. If you're connected as a customer, we want to provide an excellent service and very fast reaction times if problems occur. And coordinating that together with the experts on site, the regional experts we have trained, we can ensure that we actually deliver a working platform for our customers.
Right, to make sure the customer gets customer satisfaction. Thank you, Søren. So moving on to you, Joseph. Can you tell us what the situation is in Asia? Is it similar?
Yes, service quality is paramount. Beside that, user engagement is also one important part of our every project. So we set up a task force with the customer to have the key people from both companies to ensure that the journey with the solution are driven successfully. It is very important for us to have the right people in the project to use it, to drive it, and also adopt the solution into their business process. Digital transformation is a long journey involving many people in their company. So, and one of the key tasks that we do is working closely with customer in every step, understand the process, be part of their journey to help unlock their business potential further using our solution.
Right, so being there for the customer for each step that they require. Sounds fantastic. Well, thank you very much,
Exactly.
Joseph. Thank you very much, Søren.
Thanks for being here.
So we've heard a lot about BFN Fusion, but let's now hear what the head of regions have to say about it.
BFN Fusion is a great opportunity to refresh our digital presence in North America. It is very needed. Others have failed to deliver a robust solution, so the opportunity is ours.
BFN Fusion, a game changer, setting new standards, digitalizing the poultry industry via a user-friendly platform, suitable for Big Dutchman and non-Big Dutchman customers, tracking and forecasting your production data for improved results. BFN Fusion, don't miss out.
Big FarmNet Fusion is an important step for our strategy of differentiation. In Latin America, we are very excited with the launch of the product. The solution looks great, and now we must prepare very well our staff to approach the right customers and business partners.
China is currently the region with the fastest acceleration for smart and digital solutions in the world. For Big Dutchman China and our customers, BFN Fusion will be a real USP and breakthrough for their business. It will provide our customers with a significant leverage to extract production data from their farms and load it into their systems. An integrated approach to manage, control and analyze data in order to improve customer results and profits.
BFN Fusion is a fantastic tool to differentiate Big Dutchman from all our competitors. It gives us the opportunity to bind our customers long-term to Big Dutchman in a true partnership. All colleagues at Big Dutchman need to understand the opportunity we have here at hand. We are the only ones in the market who really have access to the right data. We have the controllers in the field, the hardware and now also the integral software to provide more information than ever before to our customers. We can sell Big FarmNet Fusion bottom up, that means to farmers with some houses, as well as top down, so to the management of large integrations to introduce the Big FarmNet Fusion into their integration. Once we are connected to our customers in this way, we are in the driving seat for future investments, in particular for hardware and for the equipment. We have a unique chance here at hand to give added value to our customers without arguing prices of our competition. Let's use this chance now. Keep selling.
So BFN Fusion's interface looks good. We know that much. We've also found out it's easy to use. It also provides reliable data, and there's also great support. So theoretically, it should be a piece of cake to sell. Well, we're now going to talk to three charismatic gentlemen from the sales department and find out more on that front. So joining me today, I have Jan Jaap van der Mark, who's joining us from Asia today. I have Stefan Hinners, who is responsible for Europe. He is
Hi, Anne.
to the far right. Hello. And Christian Dick, who is responsible for the Middle East and African region. Hello, Christian.
Hello.
So starting with you, Christian, Middle East and African region, you're the sales director and responsible for the business unit poultry.
Right.
Are you as impressed as I am with BFN Fusion?
Yes, of course, definitely. We have trained our area sales managers since a few weeks now, and the feedback was very positive. Even after, then we have contacted some selected customers, and even the feedback there was amazing. Especially the big integrators in the Middle East, they said it will be a big benefit to use BFN Fusion. And they like the product very much. We assume the product will have a great potential in the region.
Sounds fantastic. And Stefan, what's the situation in Europe? You're responsible for business unit egg as the sales director?
Yes, that's right. I see also big potential in the European egg market. We have a lot of customers with small houses on different locations, as well as key accounts with millions of birthplaces. All of them are looking for a possibility to improve their production chain. And I'm sure that BFN will be the solution for them. For our egg business, for sure, we have some additional applications on our wish list, but also the BFN team is working on it. I'm really looking forward to the egg version and to present it to our customers in the European egg market.
Sounds like things are moving forward.
Yeah.
So last but not least, Jan Jaap, what's the situation with you in Asia? You're in your home office in front of the palm trees, as I understand it. Tell me a bit about the sales and what's going on with you.
We are engaging the market very actively, and it's a product that customers are looking for. Our customers are obviously in a business that is very competitive, and the Big FarmNet Fusion provides for a real-time data platform supporting our customers to increase operational excellence, and as well constantly being able to optimize profits. Next to that, Big FarmNet Fusion also supports to improve the operation upstream and downstream of the process. And that is very helpful to our customers, not looking only at the farm operations, but as well, what happens before and after the farm.
Yeah, I see. Maybe, do you have any concrete examples that you can give, or have you actually had concrete contact with customers in Asia on the selling front already regarding the BFN Fusion project?
We are actively engaging with a few customers at the moment on it, and they are looking for help on digitalizing their farm. And I think one of the key success factors of Big Dutchman is that we are able to understand what happens on the ground as well, next to implementing a platform. And this is crucial, because we can validate the information in the farm, and we can diagnose what happens, and we can actually help our customers to create improvements on the farm level and benchmark it to best performers. And this will be one of our differentiators to customers.
Which is, of course, then great for sales. Excellent. Thank you, Jan Jaap. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Christian. So now we're going to go back to Simon. We've basically seen a lot of positive things today. We've seen a team that's convinced, is happy about BFN Fusion. The big question is, are they faking it, or is this all genuine?
Yeah, you could. It's a fair question to ask, but I don't think they're faking it, because then they should have been faking it for the last 3 years, and I don't think they're doing that. But and also with all the conversation we had with customers, I think it would also have come through there if people were unhappy or uncertain about these things. And I think the one thing which is clear to me from all the customer meetings is that no customer ever replied, "Yeah, looks nice, come back when you're ready." I think all customers like what they saw and don't like to engage with us on this journey. So that's actually quite nice. For myself, I'm very happy and I'm very proud. So I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the team for a lot of effort they put into this. Otherwise, we couldn't have realized this. And definitely also a thank to Mr. Merpol and the management team at Big Dutchman for supporting this and for trusting in us. And because this is definitely a unique project to be part of.
Well, I mean, it already at this point goes to show that both you and the whole team have done an amazing job. And of course, it's probably not over now, or is it? You know, do I presume you've got a final product, or what are the plans for the sort of near and intermediate future?
Yeah, so if you look at the bit longer term, definitely we are pushing on, and we're pushing on hard with new services for our customers. And if we look at kind of what is guiding us, then I would say there's two things. There's kind of two guiding stars for us. One thing is to solve real customer problems and to create real business value for our customers. And if people imagine BFN Fusion 2 or 3 years down the road, then they will see our bigger customers using our services to optimize and manage their entire value chain. So that's kind of the guiding stars that we are heading for.
That sounds really, really exciting. So you've got a lot planned already. I'm just wondering, is there any way you could give us some concrete examples? Maybe we could blend in for our audience a timeline here.
Yeah. So now we have the timeline. It's the short one. So short meaning covering 2021. And just to give you a few highlights on this, then the applications that Maxim showed earlier, they will come out supporting our pig business as well. We will have our weight check, which is camera-based weighing of pigs, and we will also have remote access and alarms handling, which is very much requested from our customers. And we will have applications like trend warnings for broilers. And if I may, I would like to just spend a minute or two on trend warnings. Trend warnings is an application that would help our customers. It actually solves real customer problems. So what it does is actually is able to detect problems at a broiler farm before you can do it yourself. So it will actually notify you 3 or 4 days in advance that something is going wrong. And how it works, I think it will show that in the training of our salespeople. But what is more interesting is maybe looking at what the customers get out of it. And if we look at some of the test customers that we've been working with, we have been able to identify savings of up to 2,500 euros per flock. And if you look at 7 flocks in a house over a year, and then that's 15,000 euros a year per house. So that's an example of creating real business value for our customers and solving real problems. And looking at the roadmap, we need a roadmap to guide us. But what is more important is that we need to focus on solving real problems and creating value for customers. So therefore, any roadmap will for us always be a snapshot in time. And it might need to be adjusted because we need to make sure that we always head in the right direction and react to whatever happens in the market.
Reacting and adapting, but it sounds like there's an incredible amount of potential there for BFN Fusion. It's
definitely
incredible. I'm wondering now, today's the launch. What's the immediate next step? What happens tomorrow?
Yes, like is this the end? It's the end of the event. But what's going to happen tomorrow is that now we have a product which is available for sale globally. We worked closely with our communication and marketing department to develop the tools, especially for our sales. So that being the video that we've already seen, it's been presentations, it's brochures, it's also battle cards for the competitors. You were so kindly to ask that question earlier today. And besides this, marketing and communication already planned campaigns to support, both in terms of social media campaigns, but also advertising and so forth. So for me right now, we need to go out, we need to knock on the door of our customers, we need to engage with our customers. They would like to learn about this and they would like to discuss the problems and challenges that they have and what we can do to help them. And from the Apollo team, I can say we're ready to support all the way.
Get set, go. Thank you very much, Simon.
Thank you.
Today we've seen how BFN Fusion creates a complete overview of production at all levels on an unlimited number of farms worldwide in all regions. We've also seen how relevant data can be collected from farms even when there's no Big Dutchman equipment. We've seen how secure and validated data is provided, and also with an easy-to-use interface. BFN Fusion creates a comprehensive data management system by integrating data from other parts of the value chain, for example, a feed mill, a hatchery, or an abattoir. And BFN Fusion provides reliable, real-time data, which of course leads to good decisions and predictable success. I think we can safely say that BFN Fusion is the first system of its kind and a long-awaited innovation in the digitalization of livestock production. And of course, this leads to supporting the digital farming future in an exponential way. I thank you all for your attention today, and I really wish Big Dutchman, you all, and BFN Fusion, the product, the very best of success. Thank you.
Database decisions, predictable success. BFN Fusion, your digital guiding star to optimize your entire value chain. And innovation from Big Dutchman.